Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining me for this segment of Friday with Father Ron. It is Independence Day weekend. We know that on Monday, we're celebrating the independence and the Declaration of Independence that was signed by our forefathers that declared our independence from Britain. So there's a wonderful day to reflect upon our freedom and the beautiful country which we have here in the United States, and really to remember really all the sacrifice that has gone into making and keeping our country really the beautiful country that it is. We know that last week, a week ago from today, the Supreme Court reversed the Roe versus Wade decision. So in the land, legalized abortion from the federal government is no longer legal. And we are grateful for all the work that has gone to really just reconsider this, really difficult, way that our country was for so many years, the killing of innocent life. So I know that, some people have approached me about, freedom and women's rights. And I just wanted just to say out loud that the Catholic Church respects women completely. We, men and women, are children of God, and we are all equal in God's eyes. Really, the premise of the Catholic Church's stance on abortion and really the consistent ethic of life from conception to natural death is that it is not our right to decide, that human life is a gift from God, beginning with God, and it is sacred. So when we stand up for against abortion, what we're doing is we are becoming the voice of that little child that's unborn, and we are their voice and say, like, I have been given life, and I need to live. So we have plenty of work to do ahead of us. So I don't want us to ever think that this debate and this is over, that we need to keep doing our best to create a culture of life. And part of that culture is really, as I had said before, even before abortion was made illegal from the federal government perspective, is that just because something's legal doesn't mean anyone has to do it. So really the church's responsibility is to really create that culture of life where people think about the sacredness of the life that is within, even if it is a surprise, or even if it is the conception of that life was done in violence. That I oftentimes have thought that what we also need to be working on in tandem with this effort is really just simplifying the adoption process so that mothers can be told who don't feel prepared or equipped to be a mother yet, that find themselves with a child, that there's a solution about bringing that baby to full term, and then offering that child to a couple who cannot conceive. So there is plenty of work to do yet to continue to support the many Catholic social services that provide support for pregnant women, for new moms, many of which are right here in Lorain County. Birthright, the Blessing House, Catholic Charities has had a big part in adoption. So continue to pray for that, look for ways that we can help. And again, creating the culture of life is really about conversion. It's about we really need to do our best to create an environment where people can have conversations with us, that there's no judgment, just love about what can we do to help when someone is afraid. Fear, when you think about what fear does, it creates a lack of trust that God's going to help us. And we know that God helps us because we help each other. That's how God works. We believe in an incarnational theology that God reaches into human history first and most predominantly, completely through Jesus, but as his body, he reaches down to earth through us. So I'm just going to continue to hold all that in prayer. It's not an easy thing sometimes to talk about with others, especially in our culture that is so polarized. And again, Jesus had a great ability to talk and to listen to people, meet them where they are, never meaning that we leave them where we met them, but invite them to come along. And that process sometimes is very, very slow, but deliberate and can be filled with grace and blessing. So I'm just going to leave you with that message today. After Independence Day, the 5th, I'm going to go on a 8-day silent retreat. So I'm going to unplug for a little while. So as many of you know, I've been studying the spirituality of St. Ignatius of Loyola. He prescribed the spiritual exercises and the retreats that can go along with those exercises. So the 8 days are, I do have a director, so I'll meet with my director. I don't know who it is yet, for an hour every day. I'll be given scriptures upon which to meditate. And typically the 8-day retreat that Ignatius prescribes, whether it be an 8-day or an 8-week retreat that maybe you just do a little bit every day, or the 30-week, which many of us have done, or a 30-day like Alex Clark did in the month of July before he arrived here as an intern. Each of them kind of moves through 5 segments. The first is kind of a prelude, which is that we are a loved child of God. Because we are a loved child of God, then we need to please God above all things, so that our life is to glorify God. And because we are a loved child of God, then the first step is to really consider our life of sin. So how are we standing in front of the God who loves us unconditionally? And then we then sort of undertake the life of Jesus. So we look at God's great love of us through the incarnation, through the life of Mary and Joseph. We look at Jesus's life and ministry. So we'll do that, probably a couple scripture readings for that next step. Then we look at the suffering Christ, and then I'd be invited to really reflect upon God's love through the resurrection of Jesus. So that typically is the 8-day format, as it is in many of the St. Ignatius spiritual retreats and exercises. So I'm really looking forward to this quiet time, this time of prayer. So if you could please keep me in your prayers while I'm away. I'll be returning on Tuesday the 12th, 7 nights, 8 days, and then we'll be raring to go for another year of ministry. So my next Friday with Father Ron, I'm going to talk about a little bit about the event that's coming up here in August, which will be a great community builder, a lot of fun, and a time for us to celebrate just the blessings that we have here in the city of Avon Lake and in our beautiful parish of St. Joseph. So please know how much I love being your pastor. Please keep me in your prayers. Pray for all the conversion of hearts and souls that are necessary in our world today. And, just please remember how much I really just love being your pastor, and I will hold you in prayer while I'm away. So thank you so much. Have a great weekend and happy Independence Day.